Go.
Hello, my name is Diana Hoffman, and I'm going to show you how to clean your fresh air purifier today. First of all, you unplug it from the wall, and I set it down because it's easier to see. Actually, I'm going to do the back first. Squeeze, you unscrew the screw at the back. Yeah, feel free to come. Okay, it doesn't like that screwdriver. There we go. Okay, and all we're going to do is unscrew the... I want to start over again. I think we're okay. Okay, take the screw out and put it in a little nifty container so it doesn't roll on the floor. You're going to squeeze the sides together and the back lifts right off.
And show us that again.
Yes, you're going to squeeze the sides together, squeeze in, and lift it off. There's a little hook at the top that comes undone. Okay, you can just wipe it with a duster, and that pretty well takes care of it. If it has accumulated some dust and the duster doesn't get it off, you can get a damp cloth and wipe it down, and that'll get it even better. And again, you treat this just like you would any piece of expensive furniture in your home. You want to take care of it. The better you take care of it, the longer the purifier is going to last for you. All right, there are two knobs right here. They're gold, and you're going to unscrew these. The first time you clean your air purifier, it's going to take you a little bit of time, but as you do this more often, it goes pretty quickly. That just lifts off. Okay, this is where you take the vacuum and you just turn it on and you suck out the dirt. And then you do the other side and clean it out. And you can actually see the dirt disappearing if you get close enough. Not very dirty, so you may not be able to see it on the camera, but I can see it disappearing as I vacuum. About twice a year, you can take this and actually rinse it under water and shake it and let it dry. You probably will need a hair dryer to dry it all the way, or just let it set out for a while until it gets dry before you put it back together. All right, the next thing we're going to take out is the RCI unit. And again, there's two white knobs for this. Okay, disconnect it right here. I'll show you that again. Connects. And disconnect, you just squeeze it together, the two white paddles on the side. And this comes out. This is the RCI unit. It is self-cleaning, but it never hurts to vacuum a little. And again, don't touch it, just be right beside it. All there is to it. And I also like to wipe down the outside. I don't think you can ever be too clean while you're cleaning your air purifier. Okay, if you look inside, next thing we're going to take out is the plate glass. And sometimes I do this with the unit setting up like this, but for taking pictures so you can see it, we're going to do a variety of ways so you can see it. Pull this straight out. Then I take my toothbrush and I go over to the sink and I wipe it off. Run water on it and just wipe it off. And I do the same on both sides. And again, remember, I'm doing this under running water at the sink. And it's all cleaned off. Again, this has to be dry, so you'll want to use a hair dryer, again, to dry it off. I usually set it on a towel and let it dry. And then right before I put it back in, I will get a hair dryer and dry it. Okay, now we're going to the inside of the unit. And you'll see here in the back, there is a radial dial. And that's what helps clean your air. And I have a little bottle of ammonia. I put my Q-tip in the ammonia, dip it in there, and then I reach in and wipe it off. Keeping all your parts clean is going to have your purifier work more efficiently and do the job that you want it to do. Okay, we're going to save this and just set it over here. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is dust out the inside. I start with the duster and just dust around as much as I can, wherever I can reach. And I'm sort of a perfectionist, so then I like to get my damp cloth. And what I do is I go over to the sink and run water over it, squeeze it out, and then bring it over here. And I wipe it out. Again, I just dust anywhere I see any dust, or even where I cannot see it, wherever my fingers can go. I'm going to try and get all the dust out of there that I can. You can even wipe off the contact points that go in your ozone plate. And wipe across the top. And sometimes I'll get a screwdriver out, put it on my cloth, and go down in here and just get this cleaned out. Again, I'm a perfectionist, but I want to keep my machine. I've had my first machine since 1988. It works as good as the day I bought it, and I want you to have that same type of success. Okay, we've cleaned it out, so now we're going to put everything back together. It doesn't matter which direction the glass plate goes in, and you put it in the slides. There's two little slide places. And if it's a little hard to push in, that's good. It means you're getting good contact. Alright, the next thing we're going to put in is our filter. And the words go to the top. And there's two little lips here that this will fit inside. So right here, right by the screws. And it just fits right in there. And we're going to put the gold screws back in. Whoops. Forgot the RCI unit. Can't be without that. It'll only go one way. So it slides right into here. And I need my white screws for that. And you connect it back up. If you forget to connect it, the light won't come on, so you'll know it's not connected. Okay. And then you want to be sure that you keep these little wires inside so they don't get trapped with your filter. Alright, now we're back to putting this back in. Ready for the gold screws. And you only need to put these in finger tight. They do not need to be in very tight. Okay, we're going to put the back on. Again, you've got this little hook at the top. So you want to hook it in here, right there at the top, and you'll hear it snap. That way you know it's in place. We're going to return the screw to the back of the unit. And you should be cleaning your unit at least once every 30 days or once a month. You can keep track of it on a calendar so you don't forget. And as a reminder, it also shows up on the front of the unit. It says needs maintenance or needs performance cleaning. And again, just gently tight. You don't have to make it too tight. Okay, now we're ready to take off the front. You don't have to do this process every month, but I would do it at least every other month. And again, it depends how dusty your area is. When you first get your unit, you're going to probably need to do this more often until the dust is captured and dropped to the floor in your house. There are 4 screws. And also, in between cleanings, you can take your vacuum, turn it on, and just dust it. You can do that in a jiffy. That doesn't take long, and it makes cleaning easier for you. And you can also, again, use your handy dandy duster and clean that off. This one's being a little contrary. There we go. And again, I put them in my receptacle so they don't roll on the floor. Well, maybe I won't. I'm just going to leave them there. All right, I get my duster out because this is easy to go in here and just dust it off. Get in between the blades. And then, like I said, I like to use the damp cloth. So again, I take it over to the sink, rinse out any dust that might be in here, bring it back, and I do the front and the back of each blade. Up here at the top, you have this thing that looks like a nail. That's your needle ionizer. So be careful you don't scratch yourself on that. Again, you can wipe that off also, get it clean. Remember, do behind the blades. And then I also take my finger and just go all the way around the circumference of where the blades are. Wipe it off. Okay, then you can also take your Q-tip, dip that in ammonia again. Use the other side of the Q-tip. I never contaminate my container. So it's always clean ammonia that's going on the container. Okay, and we got a little bit of dust on there, so you just never know. Okay, we're ready to put the cover back on. This also can be rinsed under the faucet, or you can put it in your dishwasher if you want to keep it clean. So you have choices. Screw them back in. Again, just firm tight. You don't need to make this too tight. We're almost done. Final step, set it back up, plug it in. Okay, we're going to turn it on. And I don't have this quite tight enough, so I'm going to tighten this up a little bit more. Okay, I turn it on. And then there's a little button here that's called the reset button. And you need to press on that. And that'll clear your screen and take off that it needs maintenance because you've now just cleaned the screen. And notice, remember it always comes back on and RCI is the setting. So if you are using the odor factor or the purifier, then you'll want to set this to the square footage that you want it set at. And at this particular house, we're using it at 1,500 square feet. And that does her entire house, upstairs and downstairs. Thank you very much for selecting a fresh air purifier. And again, I'm Diana Hoffman with Active Air and Water Solutions.